This is Hip Hop at Lunch. We're here with Skyzoo. How's it going, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Just rocked the Duck Down show, Gramercy Theater, CMJ Week, holding it down, Jamla, Duck Down, you know?
Hell yeah, I know you had a few performances at CMJ, man.
Yeah, had a couple lined up. Did Santos, and now we're doing Gramercy for the big Duck Down finale, you know what I mean? So it's good things, you know?
That's awesome. So the Salvation's been out for a few weeks now.
Yeah.
Has it done what you wanted? Like, did it accomplish what you set out to do?
Yeah, it's you know, it's getting where it needs to get, and the critical acclaim is there, and you know, the sales are there. A lot of people might have underestimated the sales, not because of me, but because of the economy and because of where the industry's at. A lot of people feel like, yo, you know, it's harder to sell records nowadays, which it is. So me being a new artist, you know, to some people know the mixtape history and everything, but me being a new artist, debut album, tons of incredible production from Grammy Award winning producers, but no features.
True.
So a lot of people, you know, the bigger names, not really fans, but the business side of it was like, yo, it's no features. We wonder if it's gonna sell the same, and it didn't. It sold more. You know what I mean? So no features, and I sold more. You know what I mean? So opening week was incredible. We came in the number 14 album in the country, number 4 best-selling artist, new artist on Billboard. So it's incredible, man. ESPN is playing music off the joint. ESPN is licensing joints and, you know, doing this tour now, and Brand Jordan's involved. So it's incredible things from somebody on an indie label. You know
Definitely.
what I mean? So
those are major things, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I wanted to ask you about that. Like, why did you decide to go with no features? Like, what was the decision behind that?
Creatively, man, I really wanted to give me. You know, this album is so important to me. This album is so special. And I know we talked a little while ago about the album and it achieving what I wanted it to. It definitely achieved what I wanted it to, but it did go over certain people's heads. And I knew that was going to happen, you know what I mean? I knew it was an album that people would really get later. So I had an interlude on the Power of Words mixtape with DJ Drama, Static Selector, where I had an interlude called the 5-year plan. And it was about people not really getting the music until later, 5 years later or anything in between that. And I think that may be happening with the album, but I'm not mad at it. You know, I see people saying it's dope, it's real dope, it's hot. You got a lot of people who got it, who are like, yo, it's incredible, classic, whatever. But there are people like, yo, it's really dope. But they overlook certain parts of it, and that's cool. But they're going to get it later, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that being said, you know, I wanted the no feature aspect to really be about me. At first, there was a few features. You know, I had 2 or 3 people named. It was like 3 people tops. Like, this is it. I'm not going to have 10 features. Maybe 2 or 3. And the people was ready to come through. We was waiting for the touring, and they was going to come back and do it. And they was like, yo, I'm down, whatever you need. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold that for the second album and really just go in with me on the first album. Nobody's done a debut album, major or indie, as far as hip-hop. Nobody's done a debut album with no features in forever. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to do that. So I do have one feature. I have Carlita Duran. I don't want her to see this and get mad at me. I got Carlita Duran. She's an incredible singer out of North Carolina. But, you know, as far as MCs and all that, man, no features, man. I really wanted this to be about me, tell my story, kick what I need to kick, and bring people into my world. So I could literally say I wrote every single word on this album. And that means a lot to me, man. It may not mean a lot to other people, but it means a lot to me because I can go, at the end of the day, I can go to bed saying, yo, I wrote every single word. Even the hook that she's on, which she's singing it, I wrote that. Every single word I wrote on this album. And that's a special feeling, you know what I mean?
That's impressive, man.
I appreciate it.
It rarely happens.
Yeah.
So I've seen you perform The Beautiful Decay a few times,
Yeah.
6 song and everything.
Appreciate it.
You talk about Nas being an influence. Like, could you just further explain that?
Well, I feel like with me, you know, same way he had no features on his first album except AZ, but I feel like, you know, when he came out, he was painting this picture of Queensbridge. You know, he was painting this picture of the building where he was from and the block where he was from and the city that he knew as it was and as it, at the time. And with me, that's what I did as far as what I know. Me being from Brooklyn, you know, spent time in Queens, Southside and all that. But me just being from New York and being from the block and being from the bottom and painting this picture of what it is. You know what I mean? Like, every word on this album really happened. So when you talk about The Beautiful Decay, it's really me talking to the city as I knew it and as I know it. And people look at the city, people look at the hood, people look at the people in it. us all in it and say, yo, we're the scum of the earth and we're this, we're that. But the Beautiful Decay, the title threw a lot of people off. What it means is, you look at the people who's out there on the corner doing what they got to do. You look at the people catching cases, doing what they got to do. You look at people caught up in all these situations. You say, yo, they're monsters, they're animals, they're horrible people. But no one was born that way. We all was born the same. You know what I mean? We all came up the same way in the beginning. So something happened that took us from A to Z. Something happened that turned that dude into a murderer, or turned that dude into a hustler, or turned that dude into a stick-up kid, or whatever it may be. Something happened there. So there was some kind of decay that altered that beautiful. And it's the same way with the city. You know what I mean? The New York that I know is a New York that was raw and rough and gritty and don't come out at night. Something happened to that city that turned it. You know what I mean? The same thing with the people. So that's what the Beautiful Decay is. So beautiful, so gorgeous, but so opposite of all this. You know what I mean? So left from what you call it. It's so other side from what you call it, you know? So that's the science behind that. It threw a lot of people off, man. People heard the title and was like, yo, what does that mean? But when I break it down, they're like, wow, I see it. It's more than just a dope song. It means something, you know what I mean? The Scriber for everyone who subscribes, $1 shots of Henny with chicken wings and fries, $3.75, and what it took to get that. Like, the Scriber for everyone who subscribes to that, everyone who lives that, you know what I mean? And what it took to get that $3.75 for that meal and that $1 shot of Henny that mean the world to them, it means something. It's deeper than just being a dope song, you know?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Dope song and dope video too, man.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
So outside of rap, like, what are you doing for fun?
I'm blessed to do what I love doing. You know what I mean? So this is my fun.
Okay.
The business side is the business side. I'm not a fan of the business side at all. There's a lot of bullshit with it. A lot of people who, you know, say what they, you know, say they're gonna do something and don't do it, whatever it is. But that's the game. It's like any other game out there. You know, what I had to learn is that it's different from being in the street, being in the hood, just being a stand-up dude. It's different from that. But you learn it. The game is the game. But for me, making music is fun because it's what I love to do. You know what I mean? And be honest though, I'm a huge basketball fan. You know, I'm on the NBA 2K all day, the live all day and all that. I'm on the Fight Night 4 all day. You know what I mean? But I mean, I don't really do too much more than make music. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's really my life because I'm trying to get to that point. I'm at a great point now, I'm blessed, but I'm trying to get over there. So I got things to do. You know what I mean? The Twitter game, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not all day super heavy on the Twitter.
Right.
I'm not, you know what I mean? Because I'm a dude where you draw that line, you separate it. You know, you got Skyzoo and then you got Scholar. You know what I mean? There's two different things. Like, my mother calls me Scholar. You know what I mean? My pops and my brothers, I'm Scholar. You know what I mean? But to hip hop at lunch, I'm Skyzoo. You know what I mean? And to the rest of the world, I'm Skyzoo. So it's different. And I got to keep that line. You know what I mean? I want to be able to just be home or go to the corner store or do whatever. So I try to keep that line. So I'm not on Twitter all day, moral of the story. But I am on Twitter, twitter.com/TheRealSkyzoo, @TheRealSkyzoo, everything spelled out right. I'm on there if the fans is hollering. I'm on there if I got a show. I'm on there if I got a project coming out or a video, whatever it is. I'm on there for that. And I'm interacting with people. I always try to holler at everybody back. But I'm not on there all day like, yo, I'm in the supermarket getting this. Or, yo, I just walked by the block and this is happening. Like, I'm not on there with that. You know what I mean? Because I'm just not built like that. I'm built a different way. You know what I mean? But I ain't mad at those who are on it like that, you know? To the fans watching this, man, hiphop@lunch.com, all that. To the fans watching, I appreciate the love, the salvation. Number 14 album in the country. The first week it came out, it did incredible numbers. It passed what everybody thought it was going to do. And number 4, best-selling new artist on Billboard. Incredible, you know, charting and all that. Top 10, nah, top 5. You know what I mean? So it's good things, man. I got this tour with Ghostface. You know, I'm jumping on the Ghostface tour for the second half, starting next week. We'll be everywhere, Midwest, West Coast, up and down the East Coast. It's going down. Grant Jordan behind it, holding me down as far as that. Behind me and everything. And, you know, we running, man. MySpace.com/Skyzoo, Twitter.com/TheRealSkyzoo, YouTube.com/SkyzooTV. And, you know, we here. The salvation in stores now, man.